Hey, my friends, let's talk a little bit about the background of the prologue in my newly published book, Wild River. So, in the prologue, we actually go back into the past pretty far, and we see this scene where there's a group of people who have seemingly they're refugees, and their king is leading them. They've fled, but their pursuers have caught them, and they're in the middle of this kind of a desert area, and they're being attacked. And but the interesting thing is that their attackers are not human. Their attackers are actually golems. It's just this massive army of golems that are in different shapes. Some of them are in human form. Some of them look more like crustaceans or spiders or insects. But they've surrounded these people and they're attacking them. But these people have their own army of golems who are anthropomorphic. They're human form golems, and they've created this defensive line around them. This phalanx, defensive phalanx around them, and within that, the humans have a little bit of fortification and also human soldiers waiting to fight. But there's so many golems attacking them, right? That they it seems that all is lost. They're going to die. So, but in this scene, and of course, the scene is pretty different from the rest of the book because the rest of the book happens in a setting that's kind of similar to 1860s America, whereas this scene, of course, is a lot farther back, and you don't have any firearms. This is all medieval level weapons, and and these people, they're of course they're fighting for their lives, and you think all is lost, but then something miraculous happens, and you see this is where we're introduced to a concept of the creators, and this is a theme that is going to be revisited throughout the novel. Creators are, and you're going to gradually learn more and more about them as the novel progresses, but they're basically like godlike beings who can do pretty much anything that they can conceptualize, and they can just change the world in a thought. But there are certain prices that come with that power. And in this prologue, we see a creator who, something has happened to her. Something has happened to her, causing her to be incapacitated for a while. But she awakens, and she rises up, and she sees the situation. And this man named Imaka, who is the servant of the king, he tells her what's going on, and she rises up and floats in the air and just destroys all the golems. I felt that this was, of course, this is actually a late addition to the book. The book initially just started with chapter 1, which is Bondus Riverman in his office, but I added this for a couple of reasons. First, my lovely wife suggested to me, and she's a big fantasy fan, suggested to me that there needed to be a prologue that was like of grander scale than anything that I had in chapter 1, because chapter 1 is very, very focused on Bondus and this one person, this one city, and I wanted to give some idea of the greater conflict that's going on, because there is a greater conflict in this world that spans the centuries and underlies everything else. But you don't really see what that is yet in Wild River. It's only hinted at throughout the novel, and I wanted to give a little bit of more of a picture of that in the prologue, and also just give people more of a sense of fantastic scale to get things started. And that's why I started the book in that way. I wasn't sure for a little while. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that, because I recently read some negative comments that some fantasy fans have made about prologues that don't have anything to do with the rest of the book, and I think that kind of gave me some second thoughts. But the reality is that the prologue does have a lot to do with the rest of the book. It's just that the characters aren't in the rest of the book, but the ideas, the concepts, actually are pretty important to the story. You have to know who creators are, and the whole thing with golems, and there's also the question of the people depicted there are the people who lived and the continent that's now called the New World before. But when the people we see in Wild River, when they got there and settled there, there weren't any natives. There weren't any people there. They just found ruins. And so you get some sense of who these people were and what happened to them. That's another reason why I put this prologue in here. But anyway, Wild River, now available on Amazon for a limited time. The ebook is just $1. That's not going to last, so get it while you can. And yeah, tell me your thoughts. Go read the prologue. Tell me what you think. Just go ahead and put it in the comments below. I'm eager to hear what you think. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye.